Itoshi Sae is the best U20 midfielder that we know, as well as one of the most interesting characters in the series. He had to go through a lot of trouble in his childhood, whether it's related to football or his family. In this video, we're going to be talking about his abilities as well as his character. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, but only if you enjoy. And as promised, since you got the Itoshi Rin video to 150 likes, here's the Sae video. This video is sort of a part 2 to the other one, but in this one we're going to be covering Sae's side of the story. And I believe in y'all to get this video to 150 likes as well for a Iki Nico video. You can let me know in the comment if you have any character suggestions for future videos, criticism, or anything along those lines. But without wasting any more of your time, let's get into it. Itoshi Sae basically has two main abilities, the first one being his perfect kick technique and the second one being his dribbling. The perfect kick technique resides in his ability to pass or shoot the ball. While his shot is good, like being able to score in a bad position even as a midfielder, it gets crazy when we get to his passing ability, as he is able to dish out perfect and accurate passes to his teammates, allowing him to give opportunities to his strikers to score so many times. But it is crazy to the point where he is even able to create chemical reactions with shidou ryusei, who was unable to create one with anybody else, not even Isagi or Rin, who are able to create one with any sort of player. His passes are so good that average players cannot keep up with them, forcing him to basically nerf himself so his strikers can keep up with it and score goals. It is only while having a certain talent, like for example shidou ryusei, that he is able to go at his full potential. But with all this aside, Itoshi Sae is also the best U20 player when it comes to dribbling. Unlike the other dribblers like Yukimiya or even Bachira that have a very aggressive style, Itoshi Sae's style is pretty passive. Instead of just blowing past the defender, Itoshi Sae would rather take his time and analyze the defense before getting past them, always being able to find their weaknesses with his great vision. He was able to easily get past Isagi and Bachira at the same time, or to even get past Itoshi Rin multiple times while not making him each time. He also has great reflexes to even allow them to adjust his movement last second if it needs to be done, being able to perfectly react to Shidou's movement or to his opponent's movements. And he is also a user of meta vision, which I have explained multiple times in the past videos. This is about it for his abilities, but we do not yet know the extent of his talent, so this is just with the information we have. But with this out of the way, it is time to talk about his character. Itoshi Sae is also one of the coldest characters in the story, but in my opinion he is even over his brother. Even though he was playing with and against players that were not of his level, it doesn't take anything away from him. The fact that he was doing everything with no sweat as well as little to no emotion on his face, as well as his great performance with Shidou, are some of the coolest things I've seen in this series. Itoshi Sae has the same backstory as Rin, because we don't know anything that happened to Sae in Spain, meaning that we can only talk about what happened in Rin's backstory. But this time let's take Itoshi Sae's side. Sae has always been there for his brother. Even when Rin would do some stupid things at times, Itoshi Sae will always be there to either teach him or take his side. He never really liked anybody else except his family. He wasn't even open to interviews or anything else, until he had to go to Spain, so he wasn't really able to be here for Rin anymore. But they made a promise to reunite in the future, so they can once again become the striker duo that they were. But some unknown event happened to Rin when he was in Spain. Some speculation would say that it was related to Luna, but none of that is confirmed. All we know is that something destroyed Sae in his dream, and when he came back to Rin, he looked completely depressed. He has not only lost weight, but it looks like he's been lacking sleep. But he seemed pretty happy, or at least open to see his brother. After talking to him a little bit, he told them the truth about what happened. Considering his mental state, he was probably looking for his brother's support. But instead, his brother got mad at him and told him that he's not the brother that he knew. So imagine trying to confess something deep to your brother or to somebody you care about, but they can't even understand you. The only thing that came to their mind is to shame you and to tell you the things that you probably told yourself before. Because I know that Sae told himself that before. He was probably ashamed at first because he didn't want to do it because he gave up on his dream. But in the end, he made a decision for the better. Sae then challenges Rin to a 1v1 after noticing the lack of support from him. Basically to show Rin that the world is way bigger than he thinks, and it's not because he's the better in Japan that he's going to be the best in the world. When he told Rin that if he won, he was going to share that dream with him, it was never supposed to be a fair bet. He already knew that he was going to win. He wanted to show Rin the difference between the two worlds. He even told Rin that Rin can work on becoming the best striker in the world himself. Notice that just because he failed and switched, he didn't force Rin to do anything. He still believed in him and even encouraged him to get there. But Rin not only attacked him for it, but showed some weakness in front of him, which disgusted Sae that was coming to his brother for support. He ended up telling him that he doesn't care anymore and that he can leave if he wants. He can stop playing football forever, which is the reason why he told him, stop using me as a motivation. He wanted Rin to realize that he has to play for himself, which Rin realized at the end of the U20 game. And Sae going out of his way to go see Rin after the end of the game shows that he still somewhat cared for him, even though he does not show it. And he probably mentioned Isagi's name on purpose to motivate Rin even more. Basically, the main problem in the relationship is because they both feel betrayed by the other. Rin getting his kid dream that he was trying so hard to accomplish destroyed by his brother, as well as Sae not getting any support from his brother when he needed it the most, created the current situation they are in. But now I want to talk about Sae's character currently as well as the community. One thing that I realized is that Blue Lock corrupted some people's minds. Some people don't even give any value to defenders or midfielders anymore. To them, any striker that needs help from a midfielder is subpar. Basically saying that midfielders are useless and that a good striker shouldn't need them, and that you shouldn't strive to become anything that isn't a striker. Even people saying they feel bad for Gagamaru for being a goalkeeper, when not only he doesn't have a problem with it and nobody else has a problem with it. Some people don't understand that what Ego said in the first episode is not necessarily true. What I got from his message is that he needed to put that in their minds, that the only thing that matters for them is to score. Because he was talking to striker, so he's telling them all they need to know. All they need to know is that the only thing that's important is to score. But in the end, the other roles like defender, midfielder, or goalkeeper are as important as a striker. It just isn't something you need to tell a striker when you need to awaken his ego. But some people took that affirmation and ran with it, assuming that every other role is useless on the field, and that all you gotta do is score more than the opponent and you don't have to worry about anything else, which in itself is not that easy. Sae becoming one of the greatest midfielder would be great for his character, for his talent, as well as for everybody he plays with. A midfielder can easily elevate a team's level, because he basically has the ability to do everything: play defense, score, pass the ball, facilitate, and everything. And as judging from his talent, Sae will be a player like Alexis Nest, basically being the heart of his team. Whether there's a striker that is better than him to finish the goals or not at all, he'll be able to perfectly coordinate his team. Another group of people that hate him is the people that think that he shouldn't have gave up on his dream, which in my opinion is a very shonen type of mindset. You can't always expect players to accomplish their dream. Sae getting his dream crushed, and then deciding to walk towards another direction that will still allow him to become the best is way better than him simply quitting or forcing on something that will not work. The most shonen thing to do will be for him to be insane about it and still go at it until he succeeds. And the stupid thing to do will be for him to keep going until he completely fails. Knowing when to stop or knowing when to take another direction is one of the smartest things there is, and being stubborn is not an option. Most people have the same type of mindset as Rin. To be fair, Sae coming back as a midfielder would still make a perfect duo with Rin, but Rin is simply blinded by the word striker. Even Sae as a striker was still passing the ball to Rin for him to finish. He wasn't always scoring his own goals. Everything he was already doing, he can still do them as a midfielder, but his ability to defend as well as his great field vision would allow him to play better as a midfielder, which would bring the Rin and Sae duo even closer to perfection. But some people are just too blind to see that. Or maybe I'm just biased because midfielder is my favorite position. Let me know in the comment whose side you're taking in this sibling fight. You can also let me know what you think about Sae's decision of becoming a midfielder instead of staying a striker or being insane about it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, but only if you enjoy. And let's get this video to 150 likes for a Ikiniko video. If you have any criticism or character suggestions for future videos, let me know down below in the comments. I appreciate you for making it to the end, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.